You know, if I'm gonna actually put up Ace Attorney, I should maybe make sure that the screen is open. There you go. Problem solved. Hi, welcome back.
We're alive.
We're alive. Sorry about that. You know, my computer does many things, but sometimes cooperating is not one of them.
I mean, when do computers ever cooperate?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the funny thing. And I work in IT. That's the funniest part. Okay. I gotta. Okay. Memphis. All right. You guys can see it on your end.
Yeah.
Okay.
Court will now reconvene. I assume both sides are ready.
Yes, Your Honor.
Yes, Honor.
What the fuck did we do? This happen?
Edward, you good?
Neither of these two are having a fun time right now.
Neither of them are ready.
I can understand the defense acting like this. However, why do you also seem distraught, Mr. Edgeworth?
It's nothing, Your Honor.
What's wrong with Edgeworth?
It looks like something unexpected just happened to him.
Well then, Mr. Edgeworth, if you could please tell the court the results of the handwriting analysis of Miss Impact's suicide note.
Yes, Your Honor. Unfortunately, we have discovered that this suicide note is a forgery.
What?
Well, what do you mean, Mr. Edgeworth?
This note was not written by Miss Impax herself. It is a fake.
Mr. Edgeworth, would you care to explain what is going on? If this is not written by Miss Impax, then who wrote it?
We would need more time to do a more detailed analysis. However, it appears that the handwriting matches that of the victim, Mr. Juan Corrida.
Mr. Corrida?
Well. It looks like Miss Impax never noticed his suicide note at all. She never wrote anything about On Guard.
However, Your Honor, even though this suicide note is indeed a fake, Mr. Ongard could not have known that, and so that fact remains unchanged. What? Acting under the assumption that it was real, he had Polted to possess it. Plotted. I can't read today. Goddamn.
He had Polted, of course. He had Polted.
Poltergeist.
That does sound very plausible, although I'm not sure about the whole quoted thing.
It's been a long day, Your Honor.
This theory that Ed OnGuard had no idea that the suicide note was fake. Something seems a little wrong with it.
I don't know, Phoenix. Is something wrong with it?
The defense believes that the theory the prosecution stated contradicts the testimony. If everything the prosecution has proved up to this point is true, then it's impossible for Mr. OnGuard to have not known it was a fake.
Well, what is this little...
With evidence.
what is this little item called again?
A video camera, Your Honor. Well, a very small one, but...
Oh, that's right, a camera. Oh, you kids and your fancy toys nowadays.
Not even that fancy.
Well, I mean, given the circumstances, it is pretty fancy, not gonna lie. I don't know how much it costs to get such a small camera like that.
I mean, the judge is pretty old. He probably hasn't seen one of these before.
Fair enough. I'll give it to him.
Back in my day, we didn't have a thing called cameras.
Mr. Edgeworth, earlier you claimed that Mr. OnGuard knew the existence of this note because he was spying on the victim. Isn't that right? If that were true, then this means Mr. OnGuard would have known that the victim had forged the note.
just had a heart attack.
You okay, Mr. Edgeworth? You okay, Mr. Edgeworth? You seem to be in pain.
Son of a...
So then the defendant knew that the suicide note was a fake. And if this is true, then the situation has suddenly changed in a very dramatic way.
Exactly, Your Honor. The prosecution's theory as to what Mr. Engarde's motive for murder was, it has suddenly disappeared into thin air!
But, Your Honor, it's not as if Mr. Engarde monitored Mr. Kurita 24 hours a day. Perhaps the victim wrote the note in a place Mr. Engarde didn't know of.
Well, right back at you, Mr. Edgeworth. Why don't you show us some proof that the victim had made the forgery in an unknown place?
This is literally just an argument I swear I've heard from my younger cousins before. Prove it! No, you prove it!
Alright, kids. Order, calm down, you two little bratty kids. Mr. Edgeworth, it looks like this time it is you who has dug his own grave.
As I figured.
Huh? As you figured.
As I figured. It came down to this after all.
Mr. Edgeworth, you're not making any sense. What the fuck are you talking about?
When I heard the results of the handwriting analysis, I thought this might happen. The question is, what's next?
What next?
If the prosecution can't prove Mr. Engarde's motive through the evidence, then we must prove it from another angle.
Well, I agree with you there.
Your Honor, the prosecution would like to call a witness to the stand at this time.
Oh, well, that's fine.
However, this witness is a little unusual.
Edgeworth stuttering? This is not like him at all.
Unusual. Well, what sort of witness is this person, Mr. Edgeworth? You gotta be worse than that damn parrot.
Are you sure about that?
Well, I mean, we can't get any weirder than that, can we?
Just wait a couple games, you'll find out.
We're not there yet.
This witness is one who is perfectly fit to answer once and for all the question of...
Uh-oh.
What?
Edgy poo.
D-
Edgy
did-
boy,
no,
are you
did it
okay?
crash?
Edgeworth, are you alright?
Did Edgeworth crash the game?
His presence was too much for your computer to handle.
Oops. It looks like, man, we're just I am just having technical difficulties one after another, aren't I?
Well, shit.
Oh, come on. Like, it's not even using up that much data on the computer. What the why is the frickin' Okay, I need to figure out what's going on here, because my E drive is somehow at 100%. And this
Oh.
Yeah, I
Yikes.
think it's trying to install something, but clearly, obviously, that's not working. I know Ace Attorney
Trying
is
to
probably...
install something, but you don't know what it's installing?
No, it's probably installing an
What's that
update for Steam.
Oh.
A game update, but it probably is using up most of the resources. Okay, well,
It just strong arms all of your resources.
for some reason it is. Okay, we're gonna take a bit of a moment while Edgeworth decides, Edgeworth is having a stroke at the moment, and we'll reconvene once he's out of a stroke. So we'll be right back.
Hooray!
Oh, okay,
Yay.
Mr. Edgeworth has done Edrith has done having stroke. I think we're good for now at least.
He's done gang beating Andrew's computer in a back alley.
I don't know. There's some weird shit going on with my computer right now, but we'll try keep charging through.
Edgeworth didn't want this witness to be
So
here.
much that he just froze the game.
He's like, I don't want to talk to this bitch, even though I'm the one who called him up.
I no longer want to live on this hard drive anymore.
No, Mr. Edgeworth, you can't do that.
Ahem, where was I? Ah, yes. Who was it that hired Shelley the Killer to commit murder?
Edgeworth, why were you like frozen for like the past 2 minutes?
Contemplating life choices.
That's impossible. Who in the... No such person exists who can answer that question with such certainty.
Yes, Mr. Edgeworth, who is this witness?
It's,
I just laugh if he freezes the game again. Wait! Don't freeze the game.
Yes, go on, who is it?
the man himself, Mr. Shelley the Killer.
Oh, Mr. the Killer.
What?
Wait, Shelley the Killer? You mean the killer? I mean the assassin?
Yes, Your Honor.
He's coming here to the witness stand?
Well, yes, in the manner of speaking. I recognize this is a very unusual circumstance, so I ask for your permission.
Well, Mr. Wright,
Yes?
is this alright with you?
Do I have a choice here? I can't really do much else to drag this trial out. The defense has no objections, Your Honor.
I wonder if it really is alright to do this.
Your Honor, you're supposed to know this. You're literally the judge of this trial. You're supposed to know this shit.
And you're supposed to know computers. Don't fucking judge him.
Okay, it's one thing to judge the judge on doing his job. It's another thing to judge me based off of computer trouble that I have zero control over. Okay?
You literally went to school for IT, and this man doesn't even know what a camera is.
Like, as I repeat, there's no way I can tell what's causing my computer to suddenly lock up and freeze at the moment. I haven't done enough troubleshooting to figure that out. Anyway.
Very well then. The prosecution calls its witness to the stand.
Edgeworth, is there no other way left for us?
I mean,
Oh,
you
no.
could get into a fist fight in the middle of the courtroom.
Could.
Now then, witness. Your name and your, occupation, please. God, do I really have to do this?
Oh no. We got the transceiver. No, not the transceiver. Alright. Who wants to be the killer? I mean I could do the killer, but I mean Cammy, if you want to. Or
Go on,
Cameron.
I'm chewing. Give me a sec.
Very good,
Very good.
madam.
Just very good, sir. My name is Shelley the Killer, and I am a professional assassin.
I say, what's going on here?
Your Honor?
How can you remain so calm? And what is this meaning of this two-way radio?
Actually, Your Honor, it was delivered to me just now, and it came with a condition. As long as we do not trace its source, Mr. the Killer will testify to this court.
So this must be what that urgent phone call he got earlier was about.
Oh no, this will not do. I cannot allow this in my courtroom.
But Your Honor, you're the person who also agreed to have a parrot in this very courtroom last year.
I don't want to talk about it. First of all, we can't even be sure this is really Mr. the Killer himself.
Witness, please present some sort of proof that you are, in fact, Shelley the Killer.
I understand. Please wait a second. That's ominous as shit. Don't like that at all.
Maya.
Oh my god.
I'm so hungry.
Maya!
Oh, a voice! Mr. Wright, can you confirm anything from this?
The defense has no objections to this person! We are satisfied that this man is indeed Shelley the Killer!
Oh, it looks like we have run into yet again another unexpected turn of events. Well, it doesn't seem like we have too many choices under these circumstances, so...
Now then, witness. There is one thing I would like to confirm before we speak of anything else.
And what would that be?
At the request of a client, you killed Mr. Juan Corrida, is this correct?
It is as you say. I did indeed kill Mr. Corrida.
Now that we have answered that, let's move on to the name of your client.
Very well.
Oh, this is all just a bad dream. Yes, that's it. A bad dream.
Shelley the Killer, what's he gonna say? That's a witness testimony.
Nothing yet?
Murder, murder, and more murder. There is something I must first state. To an assassin, nothing is more important than the trust between a client and himself. And that is the reason I am here today on this witness stand. It is my wish that you grasp this concept before I give the name of my client.
Mr. the Killer seems to be a very clever man, and that says a lot. I'd almost say he seems to be mocking us.
While he may appear to be our enemy, Your Honor, Mr. the Killer is only stating the truth. He is no hypocrite. He has always stood by this one belief.
Never about this trust between his clients and himself thing? It seems to be a level of trust beyond what people like me can comprehend. Well, Mr. Wright, are you ready to cross-examine the witness?
Duh.
There's no way to know what's coming next, so stay cool and collected, Phoenix.
Oh, I know what's gonna happen. The trust between you and your client.
I provide my services in a fast and efficient manner. In exchange, I trust that my clients are discreet about me and my identity. If too many people knew my face, it would be quite troublesome.
And that is why you are testifying in this matter.
This is the first time one of my clients has ever been accused of murder. I must preserve the particular name so my clients can trust me.
But couldn't someone stab you in the back and break your trust?
It has never happened before, but if it ever did,
Yes.
that person wouldn't be my client for very long. They would certainly...
That's enough, please, no more.
Very well. It was only a hypothetical, anyway.
This seems a little strange to me. I mean, you're about to tell us the name of your client. I would think that this would be very bad for them.
It doesn't matter to me. This client has already broken the rules and acted outside of their prescribed role.
The role?
This person tried to implicate another of the crime in order to save themselves. And this is a trespass that cannot be forgiven.
You. Who gave you the right to be so high and mighty?
who just spoke. Excuse me, but would you care to die?
Oh, no. I didn't say anything.
The judge should better watch himself. Trust between you and your client, blah blah blah. Blah blah blah. Blah blah. I'm sorry, but I was wondering about something you just said. You said that your client had already broken the rules.
A person who frames another is the worst kind of human.
And that's why you feel you can betray this person?
I have no trust relation with a client who can't understand their assigned role.
Just my luck. An assassin with a conscience. Who would have figured?
Now then, everyone, do you think you can understand my logic?
This case just keeps getting better and better.
If you can't, then I'm afraid we can't proceed.
Everyone understands your point, I think. Really.
In that case, I believe I am prepared to disclose the information you seek.
You have made it crystal clear that you value trust over all else. I believe we are ready.
Excellent.
Oh, what is it?
Now I can't bring myself to ask the client's name.
If you can't ask it, Mr. Wright, then I will. Witness. What is the name of your client who requested the murder of Mr. Juan Corrida?
That person's name is...
Oh no.
Adrian Andrews.
What?
Witness! That's not who you told me it was earlier.
Pray tell, what are you talking about, Mr. Prosecutor? I should think I know my own client, and it is Adrian Andrews.
What? This can't be. On the phone earlier.
What's going on here?
I guess Mr. DeKiller just stabbed Mr. Edgeworth in the back.
Stabbed Edgeworth in the back,
Edgeworth's just getting taken for a fucking ride right now.
right?
I'm sure in order to get an audience with this court, Mr. DeKiller told him a different name. Not on guard, perhaps.
I knew it.
This is outrageous. I was deceived. This witness is telling a very serious lie.
But you were the one who summoned this witness.
You silly killer.
My testimony is the truth. The defendant at the moment is Matt Ungard. Am I correct? All I wish to do is help procure his acquittal.
Wow. All of a sudden, it feels like we can actually win this.
Yeah.
Prosecution has failed to provide a motive and has instead provided this suicide note, which is a forgery created by the victim. Furthermore, there is a possibility that the defendant himself knew it was a fake. But most definitive of all, we have heard from the assassin himself the name of his client. Mr. DeKiller's client who requested the murderer was not the defendant at all.
No.
With all this evidence, it is obvious to me that this means that Mr. Matt Ongard is innocent.
I seem to have caused you all a bit of confusion. Please, continue your discussion and call me when you have reached a verdict.
Bailiff, please bring Miss Adrian Andrews in immediately.
What now? With the way this is going, Engard will be found innocent. Wow, I can't English today. This may be our last chance to save Maya.
Yeah, but Edgeworth is right. The killer is lying. And On Guard, my client, I know he's guilty. Can I live with myself if I win this?
Well, who would have believed that the prosecution's own witness would absolve the defendant?
Your Honor, the prosecution requests permission to further question the witness. Shelley the Killer is certainly lying under oath.
Oh,
Miss Andrews. Who's Miss Andrews? I forgot.
I'll,
It was me, but
I'll just do it.
if Cammy wants to do it, Cammy can do it.
It wasn't me. Listen, everyone, please. That testimony just now. It was all one big lie.
Miss Andrews, are you okay? Your voice suddenly randomly changed.
It's the panic.
She changed
Miss
voice
Andrews.
actors halfway through the season.
The suicide note may have been a fake. But that man, Matt, he's the reason Celeste died. And Juan's death. It was all because he got pulled into Matt's twisted world. That testimony just now. You have to believe me. It was a horrible, horrible lie.
but Mr. the Killer himself has testified. He has named you as his client.
No, that's not true.
Also, there's quite a bit of evidence that points to you. The knife, the button, donning the nickel samurai costume.
But that's...
You even have a motive. We know that Celeste Impacts was a large part of your life. You wanted to follow her, and you wanted revenge against the two who hurt her. I would say you have plenty of reasons to want them both dead.
No.
Wow, the judge actually is braining. Holy shit.
He used his one brain cell.
Damn.
Mr. Wright. You know the truth. Tell them. Tell them the real story. Who the real killer is. Tell them. Please. Help me.
Yes, I know the truth.
Mr. Wright,
Yes, Your Honor.
I believe we have reached the end of this trial. Therefore, I ask the defense for any final words or opinions.
I have to decide. Do I take the not guilty verdict and save Maya? Is there a hold on, give me a sec. Is there a okay. That's not until later. So okay. Or do I throw this chance away and wait for Gumshoe's new evidence? What am I supposed to do? Well, we're gonna do honorable truth.
Phoenix.
I can't do it, Maya. I can't accept the not guilty.
You are a lawyer.
I know, but Matt On Guard is a killer, a murderer. I can't let him get away with this. I can't let someone else take the fall. If I let Miss Andrews be convicted, then I'm no better than On Guard. And even though I don't want to admit it, I have to face the fact that it's because of Edgeworth that I now know the real truth. He could have gotten On Guard convicted so many times over, but he never took a single one of those chances. If I take this verdict right now, I'd be betraying his trust. His trust? I never thought about it until now. I trust him?
Wow, Phoenix.
They're gay, Your Honor.
They're gay.
Yes.
Ryan.
The gay honor.
You didn't know you trusted your boyfriend, Phoenix? Okay.
Wow, what is this? Anyway,
You didn't know you trusted like one of your best friends since childhood?
I wonder. Anyway.
Phoenix would be one of those people who needs a PowerPoint presentation to let him know that they like him.
Pretty much.
It's like,
Are you
"I
my
like
friend?
you."
Are you my friend? Here's okay, right. Here is a PowerPoint presentation of why you are my friend. Every single person. We got Butts, we got Edgeworth, we got Maya, we got Pearl. God.
got
Oh,
Mia.
Oh God, you have Pearl's testimony, like presentation. Why Mr. Nick is my friend. Mystic Maya, Mystic Maya, Mystic Maya. Anyway, well,
Point number 1, Mystic Maya. Point number 2, Mystic Maya.
Pearl, that's just Mystic Maya like 50 different times.
Edgeworth's presentation is just 2 slides. The first one is reasons I like Phoenix Wright. The second slide just says his butt and a picture.
Maya,
And then it just says the end at the end of it.
Maya, why Nick is my friend? 1, Bert, free food. That is all.
Man feeds me.
Okay. Well, I mean, I'm not gonna. Okay, I wanted to say something, but Cammy is the only person here that doesn't know what's going on. I think
Yeah.
you don't know anything about how this case ends, do you?
I have no idea how this case started.
Oh, nice, wonderful. Okay. Anyway,
No,
Like, how did we end up in this fucking hotel? I don't know.
she wasn't part of the first game. That's right. She wasn't here for the first game.
No, I've only
During that trial.
played,
Okay.
the
Look.
other one.
Either way, when we end up jumping to trials and tribulations, everything will still not make any more sense.
Oh,
As long
Joel,
as you have
Okay, I was actually just thinking about that, and I was like, shit. I have another Ace Attorney game where I'm the lawyer again.
yeah, and you know what the funny part is? That's for 2 full trials.
Yep, I gotta take over because Phoenix does not start.
No,
this game.
Don't say anything else. Cammy doesn't know anything.
I just said Phoenix isn't started.
Yeah, Phoenix isn't started. That's it. That's all you need to know. Like,
Yeah.
it's just the first
Yeah.
trial is not Phoenix.
Yeah, the first trial is not Phoenix.
It's Great Ace Attorney 2 before Great Ace Attorney 2.
Yeah, before I had to take over as
Susato,
what
yeah.
was his name?
Rutaro.
Ryutaro Naruhodo.
Don't remind me. All right. Anyway, Mia, you're staring off into the sunset. Are you okay with what I said?
Yes. Yes, you do.
Mr. Wright, your opinion, please.
The defense requests that we be allowed to further question Mr. the Killer.
Am I hearing you correctly, Mr. Wright?
Right.
But
But that witness has cleared your client through the testimony. Your job here is done. I'm not
done. I'm not done yet. To see through through witnesses' lies and find the truth, that is my job, Your Honor. There's still more evidence to look at, and I'm sure that once all those pieces arrive here in this very courtroom, a miracle will occur.
Well, very well. The trial will continue. Mr. Edgeworth, please re-establish connection with Mr. the Killer.
Right away, Your Honor.
Oh, poor guy. He's getting waking up.
Has a verdict been reached?
Before that, we would like to talk with you a little more.
About? All you needed from me was the name of my client. What else could you need me for?
Well, actually, we'd like to hear everything you know about this case. That is how things are usually done.
What the fuck is he talking about? Usually done, motherfucker.
Watch your language, Phoenix.
Phoenix, watch your motherfucking language.
You're no fucking
Language.
better, Mia.
Watch your goddamn language, the both of you.
Well, what shall we have him testify about now?
Mr. the Killer, if you don't mind, please testify about your client in more detail.
You legal people and your procedures. Is it any wonder no one likes to go to court?
It's very true. It's actually very
I mean,
true.
he's not wrong.
He's not wrong, no, he
Because
isn't.
we just sit here and watch two people argue for 3 days.
But then we wouldn't have a game that would be.
This is true. As I have already stated quite a few times, Adrian Andrews is my client. However, one thing I simply cannot overlook is tampering with the scene of the crime. My client did it to frame another for the crime, while pretending to be the first person to discover the body and enter the scene. Adrian Andrews already knew from the very beginning that Juan Carrera was dead. But even more appalling is the creation and planting of the knife and button. That act is what I was referring to when I said my client had broken the rule.
This is a most unexpected turn of events for the, fifth time now. However, this time everything has finally been revealed.
Just a second, Your Honor.
Yes, Mr. Edgeworth.
We still have the cross-examination to do.
Well, you don't need to question a testimony like this. Do you, Mr. Wright?
Your Honor, the defense will question the witness, as if I have a choice here.
Oh, why? What this witness has said what this witness has said is nothing but beneficial to the defense's case. If you scrutinize the testimony, then
Then I'll expose the lies in that. Oh, so beneficial testimony, I suppose.
I don't understand what's going on anymore.
That makes the two of us. Exactly. Alright, I'm just gonna quickly jump to that
I
portion.
low-key remember, like, my first time playing this, I was so, like, mind-fucked with this case. I was like,
Right? I was like, what's going on?
I was like,
I don't
What
get
the
it.
fuck is happening?
I was like, I don't understand.
Ah, thank you so much for taking the time to testify, Mr. the Killer.
What is the meaning of that attitude?
When Adrian Andrews entered the victim's room, your client had no idea Juan Carrera had been murdered.
But how do you know that?
From this wine glass, Your Honor.
The glass?
Mr. the Killer's supposed client thought Mr. Carrera had only fainted, which is why this glass of tomato juice was poured to the victim. Oh yeah, we're talking about this stupid fucking glass again.
But isn't that just a part of Adrian Andrews' calculated plan?
That's not possible, Your Honor. This glass bears the fingerprints of that person. Had this been planted, they would have never left their fingerprints behind.
Oh, I see your point. Mr. Edgeworth, what's your opinion?
Strangely enough, I had the same exact thought just now. Witness, how do you explain this strange phenomenon?
Isn't it a waste of time to ask about such a minor detail? It's not a very important point anyway, correct?
Finger tap, finger tap.
I'm afraid you are mistaken. If Adrian Andrews really is your client, as you claim, then your client should have had knowledge of Mr. Carrera's death. If not, then that can only mean that Adrian Andrews was never your client at all.
How strange.
Yes?
Why is it that the attorney has yet to raise an objection about this absurd situation?
Phoenix, if Dick Killer figures out what we're up to, we're in real trouble.
Yeah, I know. Mr. Edgeworth, I'm surprised. You know you can't just say things like that without any evidence.
Sorry.
Oh, that was awfully a weak objection for the two of you.
Anyway, I am positive there was a contradiction in that testimony. The prosecution requests further testimony concerning when the request was taken.
Very well.
You see, it's like they don't know what the hell they're doing, but like I think like when you get further into the games, when they're actually teaming up to find out the truth, then it's actually more calculated. It makes more sense.
They each have half a brain cell, and the only time it ever works is when both of them come together
Yeah,
Pretty much.
and work together as a team.
basically. Right now, I have to buy us more time. While we wait for the items the killer left behind to get here, I just know the very outcome of this trial lies with those items.
This request came to me, about a week ago. It was a request for my services on the night of the award ceremony. We met at a certain bar to discuss and finalize a few matters. That is what occurred. I trust my memory, and I believe I have made no mistakes.
So you physically met your client, huh?
That is correct. Meeting one's client is the first step to building trust, in my opinion.
I see. Well, Mr. Wright, your cross-examination, please.
Motherfucker, I'm gonna rip you a new one. Oh, what happened there?
Sorry.
Yes.
Wi-Fi died.
My
Oh,
Wi-Fi
okay.
does whenever our phone rings.
So you physically met Adrian Andrews, right?
Ooh.
Of course I did.
What was that? What was that with the brief pause? Witness, I would like for you to give us a few more details.
I always meet my clients as a matter of principle. I have never taken requests by telephone or mail.
And why is that?
It's because I value the trust between a client and myself above all else. And the only way to establish that is to speak to the client while looking them in the eye.
Well, Mr. Wright, was the testimony just now of any importance?
Why he means his clients is not important, and that wasn't the point. Witness, please stop stepping aside my questions. Sorry. Please stop sidestepping my questions.
None of us can read today.
Yeah.
What's up? I'm Jared. I'm 19, and I never fucking learned how to read.
Jared, 19.
Basically.
What do you mean by that?
My question was, did you really meet Miss Adrian Andrews in person?
I have already told you, Mr. Wright, I did. It was only through talking with him face to face that I began to trust him. That's what I thought when I thought I can trust this person as a client.
It's true what they say about talking face to face. Well, Mr. Wright, was the testimony just now of any importance?
If I heard what I think I just heard, then I think I've got him. Your Honor, I believe.
Cackling as I realized what the sentence said.
Right?
Yeah. Your Honor, I believe the testimony just now was of the utmost importance.
Oh, really?
Just that moment where it's just like, hang on a minute.
Oh, I process words.
Hold it.
If that's the case, witness, please include the statement just now in your testimony.
Very well. Which has no idea what he just revealed.
Oh my god, Cammy, the evil.
Cammy, read it.
You want me to read it?
Yeah, because it's a new testimony.
Oh. From the moment I saw him, I thought, I can trust this person as a client.
Objection! I would like to go over this one more time. You met Adrian Andrews at a bar and took the request at that time.
Yes, that is correct.
And that's when you thought he was trustworthy.
How many times must I repeat myself? Yes, that is correct. Oh, bitch.
I'm sorry, but that's an impossible tale.
What?
Shelley the killer. You have never met the real Adrian Andrews.
Why would you say that?
Because you made one very big slip up about her.
So, what is the issue?
Realizing.
What did you say just now? About her?
If you'd ever met Adrian Andrews in person, one look would have told you that she is a woman. Oh, sorry. Let's sorry. We gotta be more modern in this. She identifies as a woman. Sorry. Yeah, this game was made a long time ago, so it does not conform with current cultural norms as of the current moment.
Mr. Wright, what's the meaning of this?
This witness testified to the following: that he always meets face to face with his clients when taking their requests.
But he's never met Adrian Andrews in person.
Yes, Your Honor. That is exactly the point. That means Mr. the Killer's client could not have been Miss Adrian Andrews.
It's sweating oil.
Why does a radio have oil?
I don't know.
Mr. Edgeworth, is that radio going to be okay?
Was the radio ever okay?
I mean, I understand your logic on this one. However, why would the assassin make such a basic mistake? And also, why is it still sweating oil?
I believe it has to do with her name, Your Honor.
Her
And
name?
I'd rather not question the oil right now. I think I'd rather not know.
Okay, what about her name though?
Moving on. Yes, Adrian Andrews is, without a doubt, a very androgynous name.
Yes, I see.
Unluckily for Mr. the Killer, the entire time he was on the stand, no one had stated Adrian Andrews' gender. And so, he simply picked the wrong gender to go with.
What? What is going on? Shelley the Killer, this court demands an explanation.
I think somehow I must have mixed up this client with another.
So does that mean you remember something different now?
Yes, of course. Please, if you would allow me to test mine once more.
I know he's just going to spit out more lies.
Very well, but this time please give us the truth and nothing but the truth.
Hold on, how far are we? Okay. You know what? I think I know how to end it from here. If I remember.
Are we calling it?
No. I have the case notes open, so I'm just looking where we are. Because Kyle and Cameron know what could happen at some point, but Cammy doesn't. And I want to do the other way first.
Yes, I do know now.
Yeah. Also, there's an achievement on Steam for it, so I actually want to get the achievement. Anyway, Cammy.
One second.
Oh, okay,
yes,
I guess.
now I remember. I took that request by mail. There have been times when I took a job without having met my client. The request was for the murder of Juan Carrera and 2 or 3 other small things. When I saw the name at the end of the letter, I thought my client to be a man.
So you took this job through a letter.
He didn't anything about a letter in his earlier testimony, which means he's definitely lying. Oh, okay. Okay, stay focused, right?
Be careful, Phoenix. If you break the assassin's testimony completely, it's over for us.
I know, I can't make him suspicious, but I think we're okay. Like, we can do this. As long as he's standing there across from me, no matter how strong of a punch I throw, he'll counter it.
That's kind of
Oh.
gay, Phoenix.
Now then, let's begin the cross-examination.
That's pretty gay, Phoenix.
It was pretty gay, Phoenix.
You're gay,
Two or
Wait,
three
wait,
other
I don't think
things.
this is legally built foreplay.
Yes.
And what were these other things?
I'm trying to think of a way to sugarcoat it. It's just like, no, let's just call it what it is.
You other things that have nothing to do with this case.
What should I do? Should I let him slide with that? It'd be really bad if I pushed his buttons the wrong way and he got mad. Whether or not they're related to this case is for the court to decide.
Mr. Attorney,
Yes.
everything I have said from the beginning has been nothing but beneficial to your client. Which is why I wonder what is pushing you to continue with this cross-examination. Could it be that you are planning to betray your own client?
That's...
I smell the stench of a backstabber. And should you turn out to be one,
Wait. Uh-oh. This is looking really bad. I shouldn't press my luck. Alright, I have to think. Is this worth pursuing? Oh, yes. Witness, this is a very important matter. Please cooperate and tell us what these other jobs your client requested.
if it's truly that important, I suppose I don't have much of a choice. That bear figurine.
The bear figurine?
After the assassination of the target, I was to find that figurine. I was told that this job was just as important as the actual killing.
And where was that figurine?
It was inside Mr. Kurita's suitcase.
And then, what did you do next?
I handed it over to my client right away.
You gave it to your client. Interesting.
This information certainly sounds important to me. Witness, please include what you just stated in your testimony.
As you wish.
Alright, you're gonna have to read this.
One of these was to find the bear figurine and give it to Adrian Andrews.
Bullshit! Shelly the killer. If you had really given the bear to Miss Andrews, then this item should have not been inside it.
This item?
I see where you're going.
Yep, that's where I'm going.
Oh, where's this? Where's everyone going? Do I need to pack a suitcase?
No, Your Honor.
Oh, poor judge.
Anyway, Your Honor, please think back to Miss Andrews' testimony. If even for a single minute, this bear had actually been in Miss Andrews' hands, I'm sure she would have taken the suicide note out and burned it.
So that's where you two were going.
So by the very fact that the suicide note was still inside the bear, it tells us that your client didn't know how to disassemble the puzzle.
Which means?
It means, Your Honor, that it is impossible for Adrian Andrews to be the client.
Oh, it went boom.
Mr. Phoenix, right? sure I mentioned this before. How I hate traitors above all else. I think your cross-examination has clearly demonstrated something to me. You must wish to break your end of our agreement.
No, that's not.
That's enough. If that is your intention, then there will only one thing for me to do.
Wait, please.
Gentlemen, ladies, please excuse me. I have a matter that I must attend to.
No, please. Not that. Please wait.
Mr. Attorney, bring this trial to a speedy end and I may stay my hand. Otherwise...
What the? Mr. Wright, are you... Mr. Edgeworth?
Yes, Your Honor.
I didn't understand what this witness's outburst just now. Do you think there is a need to hear more testimony, or is this enough?
Well, we should.
Edgeworth, we can't do this. If we keep this up, she'll... He realizes.
Prosecution.
What has come over everyone? Even you are...
Prosecution. Rests.
What is going on around here?
That's what everyone would like to know, Mr. Judge.
They're sorting out their feelings the old-fashioned way.
Yeah.
With poor communication.
Oh boy. Okay.
God damn it.
Okay.
Poor communication and hitting things.
Okay. Hold on, let's keep this going. No, hold on. Keep going. I wanna. There is important stuff coming up.
The prosecution has no further questions, Your Honor.
What? Well, I never thought I'd see the day. This is a most unusual situation. If the prosecution rests with no further questions, then the prosecution has failed to uphold its stance. If that is the case, then even though I'm reluctant, I must believe that Mr. Tequil's testimony is accurate. That would mean that Shelley the killer's client is Adrian Andrews. Uh-oh. Mr. Wright!
Yes, Your Honor.
If I end the trial here, right now, then your client, Mr. Matt Angard, would be declared innocent. And in his place, Adrian Andrews would be charged with murder.
Miss Andrews would be charged with murder.
The prosecution has no further questions, so we will now hear the defense's final remarks. Bailiff, please bring the defendant, Matt Angard, to the stand.
Sorry, the items from the killer's hideout didn't make it in time. We tried as hard as we could, but it looks like our time has run out.
I can't believe it.
The outcome now lies in your hands.
Oh no, not on guard.
Fuck.
Oh no.
Dude, did the old guy finally decide?
To be honest, I can't think if he is truly innocent and good person. You have done enough evil to drive a woman to suicide. But, at least on the charge of murder, it would appear that you are innocent. Oh.
Dick.
So, I guess even the old fuddy-duddy figured me out.
Mr. Angard,
What an atrocious lawyer I have, giving his own client up like this. And that refreshing like a spring breeze crap is just as atrocious, don't you agree? Anyway, get on with it and pronounce me innocent already. Right, Mr. Lawyer?
Should I slide with justice, or should I save Maya's life? But But if I did that, Maya will die. But if I say he's innocent, then Miss Andrews will be charged as the murderer. Do I say he's guilty or not guilty? Either choice I make, someone's life is going to end. It all hinges on what I choose.
Now then, Mr. Wright, let's hear the defense's final statements on this matter. If the person who hired the assassin was Adrian Andrews, then your client, Mr. Matt Ongard, is innocent.
There's no need to ask, old man. After all, my lawyer's going to say what I want, aren't you? Right.
I can't do this, but I have to decide something. I can't count on the evidence to help me anymore. I have to listen to my heart. My client, Matt Ongard, is... Well, I mean... What do we do? Guilty? Not guilty?
You mean, what do we do? You're the bitch with the fucking instructions!
Okay. No. I want to ask you, Cammy, what's your honest... Because the three of us have already played this. We already know how this is going to play out. I want to ask your honest opinion.
Andrew, no.
No, you're in Phoenix's shoes this time. Are we declaring him guilty or not guilty? Well,
Turn on the camera for this. Just 1 sec. We're just gonna.
What are you doing? What are you doing, Cammy? Make your decision.
oh, are we watching her reaction? Oh, she's rolling a
Roll the
rolling a dice.
Oh.
Guilty.
Guilty?
Guilty.
You said guilty? Okay, we're going with guilty.
I knocked so many things over with that, and it still didn't pick up.
Here we go.
I'm really sorry if I just lost you the game.
We're waiting for your answer, Mr. Wright. Matt Ongard, your client deserves an answer.
Maya, I'm sorry.
But you
Matt
didn't
Ongard
have
is...
it. Queen!
Hey!
Francisco von Karma!
Queen coming in to save
What,
my...
what are you doing here? Oh!
To
Keep
watch
your camera on. I want to keep seeing your
You
reaction
see now,
throughout
don't
this.
you, Mr. Phoenix Wright. This is exactly why you should never take your eyes off of that scruffy fool.
Did you bring them? The final pieces. Do you have them?
You should know better than to ask that, Mr. Miles Edgeworth.
Ooh, full named him.
Von Karma is perfect in every way. The evidence here is the evidence is here in perfect condition.
I'm just gonna leave Cammy's camera on like the main screen just because I want to keep watching her reaction. Keep your damn camera on because I want to keep watching your reaction.
Okay, I will try and keep my camera on, but if my Discord perishes, that's not my fault.
Yeah, I know.
Okay?
Don't worry about Scruffy. He's fine and his injuries are minor.
Wait, hold on. Wait.
Did she hit him with a car? Was she the one who hit him with a car?
Francesca!
Well, I'm gonna say that it's not actually explicitly it's never actually said what caused Gumshoe to crash.
She hit him with a car.
I don't know.
There in
You
the
you
text. She hit him with a car.
you can come up with your own conclusion to that. It's never explicitly stated officially. So,
Poor
Well,
Gumshoe.
Cammy's conclusion is that Von Karma hit him with her car.
you know, I like that. I think I like that conclusion better. Anyway, oh, what's this? Hold on, I'm just reading the ace. Oh. Okay. Anyway.
All of the items are inside this.
Oh my god, it's Scruffy. It's his jacket.
What a filthy old coat this is!
Old coat.
That's Gumshoes. I can spot his his tattered rags anywhere.
Your tags?
Tags.
Yeah, yeah. It's
Apologize for its ugliness, but there is nothing else to wrap the items in.
I fought long and hard this whole trial, all for what's inside that raggedy coat. I'm sure that inside that coat lies a crucial piece of evidence. Your Honor, inside that filthy coat are the defense's final pieces of evidence.
Your final evidence? This trial's already over. All that remains is for you to hand down my verdict. I do not believe any of the evidence presented now would change the outcome of this trial.
What?
Your Honor, it is our duty to examine every piece of evidence, down to the last. I request that Miss Von Karma be allowed to present these pieces of evidence.
I suppose you're right, Mr. Edgeworth. I grant permission to do so. However, this one obvious rule applies here. If these items do not bring any new points, then they will not be accepted by this court. Now, Miss Von Karma, if you please.
These pieces of evidence are items left by De Killer during his escape from the police.
You must have been in quite a rush.
Yes, Your Honor. De Killer left 3 pieces of evidence.
Somewhere amongst the evidence we're about to see, there will be something that will turn this whole situation around, like a miracle. I'm sure of it.
That's all we can hope for.
I love how just every time they can just read Phoenix's thoughts.
The
Right.
first item is a pistol.
I mean, you could apply that to Renosuke as well, technically. So.
Yeah, just lawyers have projected thoughts now
Anyway,
to their judicial assistants.
The first item is a pistol.
does the killer's pistol have anything to do with the case? Does that pistol have any relation to this case?
We've yet to perform a ballistics test, so I cannot say anything for certain. However, I believe it has something to do with this case. At least with me.
That's the pistol that he used to shoot you, isn't it?
That's what I believe, yes.
Oh.
I kept the bullet they removed from my shoulder as a sort of memento. I'm sure it will be an excellent sample for the test.
So that's the pistol. Oh, so that's the pistol that was used to shoot Francisco. It's probably not going to help us very much. But I'll still add it to the court record.
Ma'am, you kept the bullet in your shoulder?
The second piece of evidence is this videotape.
I bet the killer took that from On Guard's machine. Have you checked the contents of the tape?
Unfortunately, there is no time to.
Oh yeah.
But I would speculate that the tape is very important.
Why would you say that?
Because he came back to his hideout for it.
The killer went back for it?
That's right. It looks like he was trying to recover it. He injured 3 of the officers at the site. But somehow it looks like they managed to protect it from De Killer. Surely De Killer is no ordinary man. The last piece of evidence is this bellboy's uniform.
Is that a uniform from the Gatewater Hotel? Was that used during the crime?
I'm almost certain it was. There's even a pair of black leather gloves in one of the pockets.
There's no doubt about it. The killer was wearing this on the night of the murder.
There is one thing I found interesting about this uniform.
And what is that?
There is a button missing on this uniform.
A button?
It's very unique button. I'm sure if we were to recover it...
Oh,
we lost
Cammy. Oh, we lost Cammy. Oh.
Sorry, Discord died.
Sorry. Oh, no, you warned me about it. That's fine. Let's keep going.
Yep. warned you that it was gonna happen.
Okay.
Running camera
Okay.
and Discord at the same time.
Okay.
I don't
Anyway,
know why.
it's okay. Don't worry about it. Okay, let's just keep going.
Sorry. It would provide us with a very interesting clue. That's all I have to present, Your Honor.
It's just as I thought.
And what is that, Your Honor?
I'm sure that were we under normal circumstances, these items for Shelley DeClue's hideout would be very important clues. However, our question is not who did the killing.
It is. Oh, sorry, that's not good.
That's Kyle.
Nope. 1 second, shifting things around the monitors. It is who is the client.
Yes, that is correct. And these 3 items do not tell us anything about that. Thank you for your hard work, Miss Von Karma. You may now step down.
Wait, Your Honor! Please allow me to examine this new evidence.
Overruled. This court has all the evidence it needs to hand down a verdict.
Wonderful. Absolutely splendid. This judge is such a brilliant man, isn't he?
Is this the end? Okay. I knew it. There's no such thing as a miracle in this world, is there?
I think you're wrong. I think they do exist. But you have to make that miracle happen. You've come this far. You can't give up now.
But no matter how you think about it, it's
Try. For my sake. Just think about it for a second. There are 2 ways out of this situation for us.
two.
The first, make Angard wish from the bottom of his soul for a guilty verdict.
Huh?
A Dickula will always place his client's wishes first. If Angard himself wishes to be convicted, then he will let his hostage go.
That may be true, but that's asking me to do the impossible.
The second way, force Dickula to end his contract with Angard. If Dickula were to no longer think of Angard as his client, then he would let Maya go.
Mia, that's even more impossible! He's a man who values his duty toward his clients above all else.
I know both of these seem like impossible feats at first. But if you can make either one happen, it would truly be a miracle.
The bigger problem is, the judge has already said he doesn't need any more evidence. The pieces he was just shown, he's not accepting them.
Phoenix, think things through from the other side. Isn't that what has always worked for us?
The other side? Wait, does she mean... You mean to turn things around?
Phoenix, the judge says he doesn't need the evidence. If that's the case, then who does need it?
The person who needs the evidence.
The defense, prosecution, and the judge. We've all seen all the pieces of evidence. And that's just how we come to know the truth. But there is one person who has yet to see them all. And that person does not know the truth. The truth, it may be what will bring about the miracle in the end.
There are no objections from the time, correct? Now then, I will pronounce my verdict.
Why don't we all respectfully sit back and listen, kids?
I have already told you, Mr. Wright. This court does not need any more evidence.
I am not saying it doesn't need the evidence, Your Honor.
Then you want to show the evidence to that person?
Yes, Your Honor. Please, Your Honor.
Mr. Wright, for you to ask with such passion, I will grant you one chance. Oh,
One chance.
please show your evidence to who you think is the right person.
That's impossible. To turn the situation around in one try.
One try. That is all I will permit.
I have to try to remember. Hold on, give me a sec. I don't know if this is the part where I have to save. Everything that has happened up to this point. Think, Phoenix, think! There must be a way to save Maya while taking On Guard down at the same time.
Now then, Mr. Wright, let us not waste any more time.
This is very crucial what's about to happen.
Who would you like to show the evidence to?
Sorry, give me 1 second. Wait, what?
I see. And now, tell us, the court, what one piece of evidence you'd like to show this person.
Sorry, give me a sec. Just make sure I'm doing this right. Hold on, sorry, I'm just reading. Am I presenting the correct one? Okay, okay, I did that, and then present that.
Oh, right. Yes, I remember.
I'm just trying to read if I'm redoing this correct.
I think you are. Yes. Yep. Yep, you're reading it right.
Well, what do you think, Mr. Edgeworth?
I think there's some merit in showing this evidence to that witness.
Did I?
You're there, right?
Okay. I don't know. I'm reading the guide, and I'm just trying to scratch my head a bit.
Does it
Bailiff,
say?
please.
It's
It says, but well, okay. Hold on. Let's just play it out.
Bailiff, please retrieve the transceiver from earlier.
All right. Looks like I managed to convince him. Maya, she's okay, right?
Didn't I tell you to concern yourself with bringing about a speedy end to this trial? Now, if I understand correctly, you wish to show me one piece of evidence?
Yes. One is all I need. I have here a videotape. It was found at your hideout. I heard you injured 3 officers in your attempt to get this back.
That was most regrettable. However, it was an order from my client. I was told to protect that videotape.
I thought so.
I'm afraid I seem to have failed in that regard.
Do you know the contents of this tape?
I was sternly told by my client to not watch it. So I have absolutely no idea.
Actually, you're on this tape.
Me?
There was a video camera hidden at the crime scene. Your actions were being recorded.
What?
Is that true, Mr. Wright?
Who was it that planted a camera?
Well, the only person who could have placed the camera at the scene of the crime would be your client, naturally.
That was Adrian Andrews.
Be quiet and listen, Your Honor.
Yes, sir.
Your client specified a place and time for you, isn't that right?
Edgeworth is done with the judge's bullshit.
Right?
Yes.
That was so they could film you.
I had no idea. Mr. Wright. Why would my client do such a thing? I would like to know why.
Why did Matt Ongard film the crime scene? The reason why he did that is my ticket out of this whole mess. There's only one reason why your client would secretly film the crime scene. Wait, is... Okay.
Yep.
Your client once told me something very interesting. We were talking about you, and this is what they said. But... Hold on.
No, you're good. You're good. It's right, Andrew. Don't worry. It's right.
No. Just give me a moment. I'm just trying to, Hold on. Your client didn't trust you at all. They were thinking of using this video to blackmail you. What do you have to say about that, Shelly the Killer?
Whole stereo just broke apart. But now it's back together again.
It looks like...
No, I think I'm...
No, you did not
No, you got
screw
it
up.
right.
No,
Did
you
I get
did
the
not
other-
screw up. No.
No,
because
but
the
it-
only ways that you would have screwed up was if you didn't present the tape and you didn't say he wanted to blackmail you,
Hold on.
because you're on the path towards the
Other ending?
good ending.
No, that's not what I want, though.
You want the bad ending
Well,
first? You want
Okay.
the bad ending?
well, we're gonna still go through.
Cammy's just processing.
Apparently, he wants the bad ending first.
There's a reason.
Okay. Alright.
Honestly, as a kid, like playing this trial as a kid, this bad ending scared me.
I actually don't remember if I've seen the bad ending for this.
What do you
I-
mean it scared you? I'm just a
Hold-
large child.
Hold on. We're gonna screw up here. They wanted to witness the moment Juan Corrida died. Your client was going to sit on their fluffy soft sofa, sip some coffee, and pretend they were at a film festival.
Hold on, I'll be right back, y'all. I want ice cream.
That's... I love how we just got to watch Cam just like gremlin walk away from her desk. I'm
Right?
so glad I was looking at her
Yeah,
camera
I
when
saw
she
that too.
did. Anyway,
just like that half moment of trying not to eat shit.
yeah.
Right?
Anyway, I don't think that sounds like a very tasteful hobby.
Well, Your Honor,
Well, what do you think, Mr. Edgeworth?
I don't have anything to say to this.
How about you, Miss Von Karma?
Cat.
I was just shot, so...
I'm afraid I cannot allow the defense to continue.
Wait, what?
No one understands what you're talking about anymore.
Wait, please, one more check.
That is enough, Mr. Wright. I will now state my verdict. This court finds the defendant, Matt Ongard.
Good heavens, Van, you're speaking in tongues.
Well, I got my not guilty verdict.
That is all. This court is adjourned.
Yay.
And just like that, the case came to an end. I ran away from the courtroom and wandered the streets alone. I never saw Maya again. The killer is a man of his word, so I'm sure he released her as promised. I heard the verdict of Miss Andrews' trial a few days later. She was found guilty, of course. The miracle never happened. Maybe it was never meant to. Because a miracle is something that doesn't exist. Justice ill-served. Achievement unlocked.
Congratulations, you won.
Congratulations.
Okay, thank you. Alright, thank you. Sorry.
Again. You never
Okay.
saw Maya again, and,
Okay, thank you for
meetings
listening.
dead.
Thank you for listening to my TED Talk.
I don't like
Now, we're gonna actually follow the actual ending this
Chrissy,
time.
wake up. I don't like this. Chrissy, wake up.
Hey, hello.
Time to wake up, time to wake up. Can you hear me? Chrissy, wake up. I don't like this. Chrissy, wake up.
Alright, well, yeah. Anyway, thank you for watching the bad ending. There's an achievement, so I just wanted to get it.
Aggressively clicking through.
Well, we've already played up to this part.
I
Yeah,
know.
I'm just getting up.
Just the clicky. Just the.
There you go. Alright, I'll read from here. Your client once told me something very interesting. We talked about something, blah, 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 blah.
Ba ba ba.
Your client didn't trust you at all. They were thinking of using this videotape to blackmail you. What do you have to say to that, Shelly the killer?
Oh. Wow.
It looks like I was being deceived from the very beginning.
Yes, by a natural. That is the kind of person they are. Your client is a person who only thinks and plots of how to use the people around them to protect themselves from any and all dangers that may arise. That is the true nature of your client.
I have one question for the witness.
Yes.
You told us one thing numerous times during your testimony. You said that you detest traitors most of all.
Oh, yes, that's right.
But what if that traitor was your own client? What would you do then?
That's obvious. I would break our contract in that case. And then that client would become my next target. For the honor of the titular name, if it even takes an eternity, I would follow that person to the ends of the earth to exact my punishment. This is a D&D villain monologue if I ever heard one.
It kinda is, actually.
Yeah.
Jeez.
I
Yep.
see. That's all I wanted to know.
So the traitor becomes the killer's next target. Ah, I get it. This is how we'll turn this case around.
Mr. Wright,
Yes.
my contract with my client is over as of now. I seem to have a new job on my hands. I will now to return to you your precious item.
I'm not an item.
Objectification at its finest.
Maya, I never thought I'd see you again. Oh, thank God!
You haven't seen her yet.
This trial seems to appear to come to its conclusion. However, I'm sort of, I don't know what just happened, what the fuck just happened with the client and the witness end. Oh! Miss Von Karma, what is that?
She always has you in her sights. Now, I do believe it's time to finally hand down a verdict.
Alright, let's...
I have you.
Oh, look at that! It's a shriveled old man! Mr. On Guard! It looks like somehow you got what you wanted. You will finally receive that acquittal you wanted so badly. You should be happy.
But before that, I would like to make one final statement. Sometime in the near future, one very betrayed assassin may appear before you. Needless to say, that man is very good at what he does. I'm sure you would understand what I mean if you watch this video. Help me.
Go die.
Now then, Your Honor, the verdict, if you please.
Is this alright with you, Mr. Wright?
We have finally reached the end of a very long battle. Sorry, ice cream in my mouth.
It's
Whether
fine.
he's
I'm
convicted
jealous
or
now.
acquitted, there's no escape for him now.
I'm so jealous right now. Hope you know that.
I'm jealous every time Cam has ice cream. Maybe you should just buy ice cream, Andrew.
Shut up. Anyway.
No.
Go on, Phoenix. Plead whichever way your heart tells you.
Right, Chief. Well, guess what? I'm still pleading not guilty. Congratulations, Mr. Matt On Guard.
It doesn't really matter.
Please make sure to savor every moment of what little time you have left. Your Honor, as always, the defense pleads not guilty.
Very well. This court finds the defendant, Matt On Guard.
Please wait.
Well, what's the matter?
If I get a not guilty, I'll be killed. No! Jesus!
You good there, On Guard? You good?
As always, it looks like...
What the fuck?
I forgot how crazy that freak out is.
Right?
I was like, okay, maybe he'll just like take like a one hit. No.
No.
He just scratches his face.
Claws the face off.
Well, as always, it looks like we've uncovered the real truth.
I don't remember you helping out much in this.
Mr. Edgeworth, how was Matt On Guard?
I've left Miss Von Karma in charge of his incarceration. I'm sure he's getting a full course meal of whipped leather right about now.
Very good. That was a close one, wasn't it, witness?
Oh, yes. I plan to pay my debt to society for my own crime, Your Honor. First time I was called to the witness stand during this trial, all I felt was despair. Danganronpa? I can't see the word despair now without going dangly grandpa.
Dangling grandpas, exactly. She must be talking about the time Edgeworth really went after her. I guess she's trying to forgive him for what he did.
After that, when I was alone at the detention center, that's the first time I really saw myself for who I am. And today, when the two of you used your combined strength to convict Matt, I felt like I had finally been saved.
Oh, this is the first time I've ever seen her smile.
I'm really happy that you two are in charge of this case. I really don't know how to express how I feel at this moment. This is the first time I've felt comfortable with myself, with who I am. Thank you so much, everyone. She's so sweet. I love her.
Oh, looks like we resolved everything at last. God, and good timing because I need my coffee. As for myself, there are still a few things I'm confused about. But everyone seems to be in good spirits. And that is good enough for me. That is all. This court is adjourned.
That would be me as a judge. Just be like, the vibes are good. We're good. Bye.
Alright.
Cape's over.
You were great out there, Phoenix.
What I did out there was right, wasn't it?
This is the first time you've not gotten your client off. You got them a guilty verdict this time, but you have to look past all that to what's really important. You now realize that there is something more than just getting a not guilty, right?
Yes, I understand that now.
Phoenix, think back for a second. Think to the moments before Miss Von Karma arrived with the final pieces of evidence. Think about the incredible decision you had to make.
Now then, Mr.
Let's see the defense's final statements on this matter. Okay. Oh, okay, we're just repeating that scene again. Nice.
Is he guilty or is he not guilty? Those are your choices, and your answer. Your answer spoke to what being a lawyer means to you.
Oh no!
Worth!
I have good news. Maya is now safe in police custody.
Yeah! Wait, what? What did she do this time?
She's fine.
He's probably getting a shock blanket, Phoenix. Really?
Pearls!
You're telling us the truth, right, Mr. Edgeworth?
Yes, she's quite safe. Phoenix, why is this girl pulling on my suit?
Mr. Worth, you better fucking tell me how good Mystic Maya is.
This is rather uncomfortable. Have you been dealing with this all week?
Shh, it's...
Mystic Maya,
Miles, we'll have a long chat about this. That's all I'm gonna say. It's a long, long story.
I'll buy you a drink. I think you need it.
You did it. You really did it, Mr. Nick.
Oh, she punches deceptively hard for a kid.
I believed in you. I kept saying to myself, Mr. Nick will save her. Mr. Nick will save her.
Thanks.
Oh,
What's wrong?
Miss Von Karma.
About earlier. Thanks. Ow!
Why are you still smiling, Mr. Phoenix Wright? You lost. Your perfect win record has now been crushed. And yet, you are still happy?
I don't think you'll ever understand, Miss Von Karma.
How dare you?
Don't worry. She may in time. After all, I was like that myself until a year ago.
Worth?
For my own personal victories, and for guilty verdicts. I used every dirty trick in the book, and so my win record remains spotless. But
They're gay, Your Honor.
It's a little gay.
Here we go.
There's
Man-
homoerotic subtext here.
A man appeared and stood fast against that selfish me.
Hey!
I fought him in my usual manner and tasted my first defeat. This is the moment Edward went, oh no, he's hot.
Oh no, he's hot! It's basically that Squidward
No.
meme.
Yeah, deadass.
Did literally. I felt like I'd lost everything because of that. And then,
Oh, look at that! Call back to the first trial.
To the first game.
it was my
Yep.
turn to sit in the defendant's chair. And I was saved by that person I called my enemy. I couldn't forgive myself for all that had happened, so I left the prosecutor's office.
By the way, we're gonna keep going until we're done.
And I
Fine.
left that note. Prosecutor Miles Edgeworth chooses death.
As well as you should have. Prosecutor who has shamed himself with defeat should crawl in a hole and die.
Bitch does not care.
Nope, she does not.
No, she gives
But
zero fucks.
That was not what happened. After I left the prosecutor's office, I finally came to realize something.
Die!
And it was in that moment of clarity that everything began to change.
Worth, are you gonna tell us what the fuck he did or not?
What foolish nonsense.
We prosecutors use anything we can to attack the defendant. And every time we did so, no matter how desperate the situation, instead of giving up like most people, that man would hold strong with his undying faith. And then, before I knew it, I began to trust in that man as well.
They're gay, Your Honor.
Literally, though.
Pretty much.
What? What? You trusted your enemy.
It doesn't matter how many underhanded tricks a person uses. The truth will always find a way to make itself known. I can't tell what the game ends and the fanfics begin.
It's
Right?
just- They wrote this game as a fanfic.
They knew what they were doing.
They
Yeah.
did.
The only thing we can do is to fight with the knowledge we hold and everything we have.
I forgot to tag y'all in this story. I'm so fucking stupid.
Rip. Erasing
Hold
the
on.
paradoxes one by one.
Sorry. I just see it. God damn it, Megan. That timing though, Megan, what the fuck?
What did she send you?
No. No, just look at her feed and just look at her stories. It's fucking Phoenix Idol. What the fuck? That timing.
Oh yeah, I saw this. I was like, what are you talking about? Then I clued in. I'm okay.
Yeah.
I'm like,
Did you read this line?
So many things today. What the fuck do you mean?
Did Megan block me from her stories? What? Or
I
am I
might just
just
not be subscribed to the Reddit account because she has like 3 of them.
Anyway.
Is it on her Kira Kira Creations?
Yeah.
No, is it?
Yeah, it's on her Kira Kira Creations.
I can't see them.
I think it's
Uh-huh.
on her Kira Kira Doki Doki, actually.
Oh, sorry, Kira. Is it
Photo.
Kira Kira Doki?
Yeah,
Hold
whatever,
on.
Look later.
Yeah,
Whatever.
look later. We'll explain later. Did you read that though?
Oh,
It's never
Megan
easy.
hasn't
We claw
followed
and
me on
scrap
that
for
account.
every inch. Ah. But we will always eventually reach that one single truth. This I promise you.
Yeah, Kira underscore Doki Doki.
Yeah.
Oh,
The
I don't follow
truth.
Megan on that account, so I requested and she never accepted my request, like
Oh, there
ages
you go.
ago.
Yeah, I think she went through and deleted a bunch of people, and I somehow managed to stay in this time
Mm.
because I didn't last time.
Anyway, I get we could discuss that a bit later.
Whatever.
Anyway, drama, but whatever. It's fine.
Yes.
It's not.
Oh god. Whatever. Deal with it later.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yes,
It's not drama.
That's the
but
reason
it's
why
drama.
prosecutors and defense attorneys exist. But I'm sure you knew that already, didn't you, right? That's why you couldn't forgive me. This man who went into hiding. Isn't that right?
I don't think Phoenix had the brain cell.
This man who only had his sights set on victory, who ran away into the night.
Ah.
Oh, she
Oh,
died.
rip.
Kevin, wake up!
Oh.
In the process of reading it, and I'm like, why is my fucking stream like glitching? I'm like, why is this so slow?
And then and then he disconnected. You know.
Or crashing. Is Mr. Edgeworth right, Mr. Nick?
You really let me down. When you disappeared, I felt betrayed. The reason I decided to become a lawyer to begin with was because I believed in things you said to me all those years ago. And you betrayed your own words. That's why, 1 year ago, I made up my mind. I decided that the Miles Edgeworth I knew had died. At least that's what I told myself.
You pathetic fool.
Excuse me, we're having a heart-to-heart here.
They're literally having a confession, and you are literally butting in, Von Karma. Jeez.
Just let the lovers have a moment.
I don't want to hear the wretched whimpering of a disgraced loser.
Oh my god! That was so
No.
mean!
Avon
Damn.
Karma is someone who is destined to be perfect. Miles Edgeworth, you are no longer worthy. You are no longer worthy of being a Von Karma. And neither am I.
Oh, so there's no more Von Karmas.
It's over. It's all over.
Siska threw something on the ground and just now.
This is an electromagnetic receiver.
Isn't that the thing she used to track the death of Gumshoe? Oh, I turned this to the priest. Oh, okay.
There's something else.
It's the whip!
Oh my god.
Ah, isn't that Miss Von Karma's whip?
I'll never set foot in another courtroom again. I'm sure that's what she's saying by this action. You should keep this right.
Okay. Oh, there it is.
Hey!
Mystic Maya! Mystic Maya!
It's a happy reunion!
Family reunion.
Get us though.
Oh, Nick. I knew you would come through. You got Hungar convicted like I knew you would. And on top of that, you even rescued me.
Well, of course I did. You know I would never desert you. But we sure pressed our luck this trial. You're really lucky to be standing here.
Whatever. Look, it's over, okay?
Leave me and Edmonton!
It's like you almost died, and your fucking point.
Look,
Don't
it's
worry.
over, okay? Besides, if I did croak, I would just come back and haunt you like a bad ghost through Pearly.
It's fine, Maya. There will be more opportunities for you to get arrested and jailed. Sorry, foreshadowing. Is it really that easy to do something like that?
Thanks a lot, Nick.
Don't mention it.
Maya,
Oh, Mr. Edgeworth.
I'm relieved you're alright.
Hey, it looks like you made some real progress, Mr. Edgeworth.
She fucking knows.
She knows this.
Well, I suppose I'm a little different from who I was a year ago.
He came out.
I was just like, that's not what I meant.
All
Edgeworth."
right, I think it's time we go out. I think it's time we got out of this depressing place. English.
Huh? Where are we going?
It's fine. None of us can speak tonight.
Food, Nick. Food. Grub. Chow. I'm starved. I'm so hungry. Even you look like a nice juicy burger on a bun to me, Nick.
You think I look like a burger? I'm a prime rib at least. Oh, snap. Boy.
Wow.
Damn.
My boy. Holy shit.
Come with us, Mr. Edgeworth. Please, we'll make it a date for you and Mr. Nick.
Oh, no.
If you insist.
All right, so how about we hit up our usual burger joint?
Hey, I was about to say that.
Don't be silly, Nick.
Huh?
This case messed up that awesome evening and got in the way of my gourmet food. So I decided that we have to make up for it by having another feast.
Another feast?
Come on, Nick. Food.
Okay, Maya. Pop off, queen.
Oh!
Oh, hey!
He's missing his coat, his head.
Should you get out of bed? I mean, is he though? He looks just happy to be alive.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Gumshoe!
Hey, pal. Sorry to keep you guys waiting.
Gumshoe, are you alright?
Yeah, but I'm really embarrassed. I didn't think I would hit a telephone pole of all things.
Okay, there's your conclusion. He hit a telephone pole. He's just that much of an idiot. A telephone pole? Then it wasn't a red light that got him. Oh no! No!
Queen.
Okay,
You
okay.
did it again, city boy. I felt like my dear old heart was gonna give out on me. And I ain't drunken.
Jonkin. Oh no, oh no, oh no. Oh no.
Everyone's here.
no.
Jeez.
We're
Yeah.
celebrating.
It was more exciting than the very last episode of The Steel Samurai.
At the thanks.
Now, looky here, Mr. Snooty Prosecutor. Don't you reckon you bullied Mr. Rat hard enough? If you don't start being a lot nicer to him, he might just kick it. Tonight,
Oh
even.
fuck, she's watching too.
Oh.
I'll keep that in mind.
Well, come on now. Everybody gather around. Y'all are gonna get your picture taken by a genuine professional photographer.
Oh, looks like Lotta bought herself a new camera.
That is quite literally the dick of cameras.
Bear in mind when this was made.
I'm in pain. There's so much lens there. There's so much this
Yeah.
and not a lot of this, and it just looks like a giant camera penis.
It does.
This is worse than the fucking like
didn't
roundabout
realize
off
it was the case, it
ramp
totally
that Cothrane's
does.
getting. Oh my god.
Say what?
Okay, I haven't told you all about this, but the town that I live in, we're getting a giant dick and balls off ramp.
Ah, nice. Finally, you get to join the highway. Finally, you get to become a full-fledged highway.
There's 2 highways that go through my town.
Yeah, I know that. I lived near. I recall the area. Okay.
Yeah, but
it's entertaining. We got a fucking diamond down here and it sucks.
I know. The diamond. Oh god, not the diamond.
Fuck that.
Anyway.
I don't think I've driven down that road since that was built, because it's just.
Oh, I've gone there a number of times actually. I'm quite used to it.
I mean, I've been in the area, sure, but I try to avoid driving over that whenever I can.
Oh, really? It's not that difficult. It's annoying, but I mean, it's not that big of a deal.
Yeah, but as soon as there's traffic, it sucks.
Oh, okay. This sucking is traffic. I've had to U-turn at
It was
least
like
once.
it was like clear and there's no one there. Sure, once you get it's traffic. Like fuck that.
Yeah, that's fair. Anyway, Mr. Gumshoe.
Anywho. Well, pal, at least we can put this messy case behind us now. Come on, tonight's all about eating. So let's go chow down, pal.
Amen to that, pal. Amen.
You know, when you think about it, you were the one who saved the day, detective. Me? You really think so? He's right, actually.
Kyle's just talking
Kyle's
to
just
himself.
having an entire conversation with himself.
Yo. If it wasn't for the 3 items you took, I think this trial would have had a very different ending. Yeah, well, you know, it's... Huh? Wait. That's odd. Well, I don't know if things from the killer's hideout. I'm sure I took 4 things in total, sir.
What?
4?
Yeah, I'm sure I put one of the items in my coat pocket.
There was a 4th item?
Oh, come on, y'all. It's over.
Lana, shut up. I want to know what the 4th item
I
was.
tell ya. You really are something else. Between getting accused of murder and getting kidnapped. Never a dull moment with you, huh? You think?
Oh, Maya, your life is gonna do a whole 180 in the next game. Just saying. Just saying. Your family has a lot deeper roots than you think. Why does she look happy about that?
You shut away for 2 whole days? Weren't you scared?
Yeah, it was really scary. I felt so hopeless. So, to keep my mind off things, I drew a picture. Sounds like you had a rough gal. So, where's this picture of yours?
I want to see it. I want to see Mystic Maya's picture.
You know, I don't know where it went.
Aww. That's too bad.
It's alright. It wasn't anything important anyway.
Ah. It sure is nice to finally see the both of them smiling again. What is it, Edward?
This thing is picking something up. Ah, that's Miss Von Karma's receiver. Thanks to her, I had the most awful experience of my life, sir. I can't believe she stuck a tracking device on me. That's odd. Even though you're standing right here, the tracking device seems to be in a different location. Oh, it's probably busted or something, sir. Well, it doesn't matter. I'm afraid it's about time for me to excuse myself.
Edgeworth, you just literally fucking got here! What the fuck?
I still have some work to do.
Aw, but Mr. Edgeworth, we haven't even eaten anything yet.
And you've eaten way too much, you glutton!
I had fun tonight. Now, if you'll excuse me.
Wait,
What?
I just wanted to say, thanks, Edgeworth. You really saved me out there. Also, I'm changing your name back. You get the edge back in your name.
If anyone should be saying thanks, it should be me, right?
I feel like words alone aren't enough here. I wonder if there's anything I can give him to express how I feel.
There is, but we're not allowed to say that on Twitch.
Yeah. Oh. What's this?
honky tonk his badonky donks.
Ride 'em, cowboy. Ride 'em.
Yippee-ki-yay, motherfucker.
This is supposed to be an innocent game.
Save a horse.
Ride a cowboy.
Thank you. It's all
this
thanks
makes
to
it
you
better.
too. You
Yeah, but
and
we're
her.
playing an innocent game. And you're also friends with us.
Yeah, that's fair.
So,
Edgeworth, would you like to wrap this up because we're nearing the very end?
You don't need to thank me. I was only doing my job.
It looks like Mr. Edgeworth has left, Mr. Nick.
Yeah, you think?
Hey, Mystic Maya.
Yes, Pearly?
Guess you two can go back to being lovey-dovey, right? You and Mr. Nick, I mean.
But Pearly, would you cut it out already? You're embarrassing me.
Anyway.
I mean, Phoenix is only like, what, like 23?
20.
Sorry.
He's
Sorry.
24 in this game?
Sorry, I can't check my evidence, so sorry.
Yeah, Phoenix is 24 in this game. Maya's 18.
Yeah.
Nope, that's too big of an age gap.
I mean, it would be okay if it was like. I mean, if it was like a little bit more into the 20s, if Maya was in her 20s and Phoenix was also in his 20s, I feel like it would be like a more acceptable age gap, but like the teen makes it very, very like a line. Fuzzy line.
Mr.
It's like,
Powers.
This is far closer to the line that I am entirely comfortable with.
Oh,
Yep.
exactly.
So, who's paying for this lovely dinner party?
As if you need to ask. Everyone say thank you to Nick.
Huh?
Yeah. I'm kind of at the point where I can't even buy instant noodles, pal. So I kind of already put your name on the bill.
Huh?
And
Huh?
Cass would have just started crying.
Yeah, I got me a situation just like that myself. There's this camera shop and this hotel, see? And I just bought myself this good old beauty here. It better be anyhow for 3. I can't speak.
Huh? Huh? Huh?
Hapata hapta. Hapapapa.
Hop-pop-pop-pop-pop-pop.
Hapapapa. Hapapapapapa.
Alright, I'm counting that. Hoppa, 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 hoppa. Oh god, are we just finishing it?
Yeah, Nick. I'm gonna stop there.
Why do I feel like suddenly screaming?
Yeah, don't need to hold back now, you hear?
Yeah, pal. Time to let it all out.
Oh my god.
This is gonna be your. This is the first time.
Wait a minute. What is this sentence?
This is going to be the first time I hear the real you. Ah, nice.
Go
We're
on,
just...
it's been a while since I've heard you say it. I've been busy being a hostage and all.
Alright then, if you say so.
That's how they ended the game. I
Yep.
love it.
That's how they ended the first game too.
That's only all of them, actually, I think.
Yeah.
I think all of
Okay.
them have been a direction.
They all end with an objection always.
That's
You
that's
really came
cute.
through repeating.
You really came
God.
through for me, Nick. I had to
I had
hide
to-
that letter, but I knew you'd find it. I really feel like I've been living on the edge lately. I mean, I've escaped death 3 times now. Pretty cool, huh? I feel like a pro.
That's not something to be proud of, Maya.
Ma'am,
Love Maya so much. She's such
ma'am.
You see
I'm
Mystic
so happy
Maya.
that you could save Mystic Maya, Nick, and I'm so happy for the two of you. Speaking of which, I think hotel is a popular place for honeymoons, so I sort of made a reservation for the two of you, just in case.
Well, pal, looks like I'm back on the force again. Mr. Edgeworth had a long talk with the chief, and he got me reinstated for my sake. I heard he said things like, letting that one go is bad for all society. I knew it. crashing headlong to everything is the only way to live, pal.
So that's the person who has fucking bandages on his head.
Gumshoe.
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 Oh no.
Gumshoe.
You poor,
Who's
poor
next?
man.
Oh, it's Maggie.
It's her again! Maggie Bird am retiring this uniform as of today, sir. I'm going to take
Oh,
it as
oh
a
no, oh no,
Bring
oh
smiles
no.
and joy to the people who come by the restaurant, sir. I hope you'll stop by sometime, Mr. Wright.
Oh no, oh no, I know what this is too. Not that case. I'm not looking forward to that one.
Foreshadowing.
Yes. Are you here as a patient? I'm Director Audio. Recently, that girl, you know, I haven't seen her around. But I remember, I even laid so much as an eye on her to go crack. It didn't matter if I got whipped, though. Yes. Oh, yes.
Oh, Director Hottie. Director Hottie, what the fuck?
Fuck.
Oh, this is all Kyle's voices.
Fuck. It's time to begin. I fuck. Damn it.
Research for the rap like the vampires fight to Zimbabwe.
Max! Ooh, what do you think Zimbabwe is like? Do you think that there are castles made of cake and bunnies who can talk?
I think if there are any talking bunnies.
Even they won't laugh at Moe's jokes.
No, we don't need to hear Mo again. Hold on. Mo, don't. No, God.
I'm ready. There's no way these jokes are gonna fall on deaf ears. I'm gonna be more contemporary with my humor. Mo Curls represent.
We got a new act. Oh, I didn't even read that. Say something, will you? You're supposed to start this off. Get on with it. Oh, poor Trilo. So poor Ben. Poor guy. What's this? What's this? Shut! It's just an ordinary electric razor recharging on a stand. I can't believe this. Really? How long do they plan on making me do this? But it's Edgy Pooh's idea, so it means must be a deep hidden meaning. But why do I get the feeling they would forget about me? Would they? It was never like this in the old days. Everyone thought the world of me. They used to call me Queen Wendy, and they treat me like royalty. Man who hasn't heard about this is gonna feel pain in my heels. That's gonna feel the burn. And speaking of burn, playing fire, flame dangerous, because the three warehouses that I saw scenery put down with the cost a huge stink in it. God, I hate your voice because I have to keep going like fast towards the end of it. Nope. No, Miss Andrews.
I appreciate everything you and Mr. Edgeworth did for me from the bottom of my heart. Oh, that's right. I received a letter from Miss Von Karma. She said that after I get out, I should feel free to consult her about anything at all. I'm really thankful to have met everyone.
I love Von Karma so much. I love her. Francesca Von Karma is a queen.
No. Oh. It has become difficult for me in this country as of late. As such, I will be taking a short leave of absence. If you would like to request my services, please be sure to visit my homepage. We may both be blessed with longevity. Oh, it blew up. Oh, it just blew up. Dead ass freaking thing just blew up. Fucking web dude has a web page. What the fuck?
Yeah, social media advertising. You gotta get with the times, you know?
Oh.
Right as I took a sip of iced tea, too. Just fucking, visit me on my webpage. What?
All right. Oh, it looks like there's one more scene.
Gate 12.
I read the airport. Kyle, I think you know who this is.
Oh. Where are you going, Francisca?
How did you know I was here?
With this.
That's...
I heard you were planting things on a certain person. Things like tracking devices in his coat, for example.
That's just like you. I only planted it there because he was always wearing it. This filthy drab coat of his. I don't know how it ended up in my luggage. But it's going in the trash. I promise you that.
Oh, that's right. Speaking of that man, he told me something very interesting.
Four things.
It seems he put the last one in his coat pocket.
He put it in here? It doesn't matter anymore. The case is already over.
What are you going to do now?
That's none of your business.
Are you running away?
Shut up. You don't understand a thing. You can't possibly understand what it means to be Manfred von Karma's daughter.
Franziska,
So many expectations from everyone around me. Expectations I must fulfill. Duh. I'm expected to win no matter what. And failure. Such a thing is not an option for me. My father was a genius. There's no doubt about that. But me, I'm no genius. I've always known that. But I had to be one. I had to.
you may not be a genius like your father, but you are a prosecutor. You have been and always will be.
No, I'm not. Not anymore. I've even thrown my whip away.
Speaking of that, Wright gave me this to hold on to. Right. You knew something like this would happen, didn't you?
I'm in your mind, Edgeworth! Ooh.
I'm going to say this again. We prosecutors do not fight for personal honor or pride. I hope you will think deeply about what you should be striking down with that whip.
You haven't changed a bit. You've always loved me alone and walked on ahead without me. Miles Edgeworth. I've always hated you. And then finally my chance to take my revenge on you arrived. If I could win against that man, if I could make Phoenix Wright bow down in defeat,
Lamau.
then this girl you left behind would have risen higher than you. That was supposed to be my revenge.
I see.
You know, I can't do it. I can't change who I am. I can't throw away everything I've been until today.
I believe you can. Just like how Adrian Andrews did.
Adrian Andrews.
You were going to use her during that trial, right? But you were dependent on your father by using his tactics. Isn't that right? Today, you chased after me after I left you behind all these years. And that's why we're standing here now, side by side. But I have no intention of stopping. If you say you are going to quit your walk down the prosecutor's path, then this is where we part ways, Franziska von Karma.
Oh, I remember this.
I forgot about this!
Yeah, I remember this part at the end.
I actually completely forgot about this.
Oh, Bob! Oh, no, don't cry! Oh, no!
I am Franziska von Karma. Don't think we're gonna walk in your shadow forever. Our battle begins now, so you had better prepare yourself, Miles Edgeworth.
3.5 trials of showboating, and all she needed was a hug.
What
Aww.
else? Oh.
Well, Cammy, if you remember, Francesca's only 18 years old. She's the same age as Maya.
Just needs a hug and a cup
Phoenix,
of hot
right? One day,
chocolate.
someday, I'm sure we'll meet again in battle.
Ugh,
Until then,
flashy lights.
it's the last piece of evidence that will never made it to you. I'll take good care of this fourth piece.
I give it to you and we last meet again.
What's that last piece of evidence? Look at that! It's Nick!
It's so cool.
It's a really cool drawing.
It is.
Actually, it's super cute.
Remember how? So I want to throw a bit of a twist here. You remember when Maya said that she drew something?
Yeah,
That's the last piece of evidence. That's the card that she drew.
figured.
Yeah, yeah.
I figured. It was like, oh, there's one more piece of evidence, and I drew a photo, so it's like,
All right, that's the end of Justice for All. Cammy, what are your thoughts? Since you're the only one who hasn't played this game.
that was a lot.
I
That was
raised
a
my
lot.
hand. I raised my hand in petition for Cammy to cosplay Francesca von Karma. Thank you.
I second this motion.
Andrew needs to cosplay Phoenix. Andrew needs to cosplay Phoenix.
No, okay.
You don't have a choice.
No. Anyway,
I'll
So
show
that's-
you the cosplay, Andrew. I will
We'll
literally
show
buy
you.
you that cosplay.
no. Okay. That's a discussion for another time. Okay, because we need to wrap this up because we're pretty much at the very end of this. So that's it. This is the last game in the trilogy. The very last game. This exact game is literally you thought you knew everything about Ace Attorney. Ha! I'm gonna do what's called a pro gamer move.
When we get to trials and tribulations, I
Wait a
have so
minute.
much talking to do. Oh no.
Okay,
Aw,
Cammy,
I'm
Cammy,
excited for this though, because then I get to voice a certain character.
Cammy.
Oh yeah.
I'm
you
just.
do.
He
You know
does.
who it is, and I call dibs.
Fuck.
I know.
Okay.
I know who it is.
So, Cammy, I'm just gonna say this, okay?
Okay.
Trials and Tribulations basically has to refer back to the first two games
Okay.
and much more deeper into the lore because it's a wrap up of basically everything up until the end of this trilogy. So, yeah, a lot of it's gonna not make sense, but it's okay because it's basically recapping a lot of stuff that we didn't know about until now. This game does a
Most of, like, the
180.
important stuff will get recapped, so it's not.
Yeah,
enough.
the stuff will get recapped, but the game basically does a complete 180 in like the story. I swear to God.
God, guys, Cammy gets to see that
That person, yeah.
they see
Okay.
a certain someone, but they also see a very well-established character in a different form, and I think that's
I know.
hilarious.
I know. So thanks for watching. That's been the second game. There is no stream this Thursday because I will not be here. So we're
It
taking
was
a
also
quick.
my birthday on Thursday too, so
So basically, yeah, there will not be streamed this Thursday. We will be coming back on Tuesday. But I don't know if it.
Favorite day of the week.
But you know,
What's a dragon's favorite day of the week, Andrew? Before we go, last joke.
Tuesday.
It's Tuesday.
But
Yeah.
But
Wait, hold on. There you go.
Yay!
Hey.
I've missed that.
Okay.
I've
Well,
missed that
thanks.
much.
Well, thanks for watching, and prepare yourselves, because we're
Join us
not
next
jumping.
time for Ace Attorney Trials and Tribulations.
either
No.
Trials and Tribulations or back to Great Ace Attorney.
No, we're not going to Trials and Tribulations. We're going back to Great. We're gonna wrap.
Okay.
We're gonna go back and try to wrap up everything from that point.
Fine then.
Because
Well, then join us next time for Great Ace Attorney.
I
That
guess you
doesn't
can.
sound as cool.
I guess you. Okay, look. either we jump back to the very point that Cameron has been waiting for so long, or we continue going down this road again, and then we have to wait another full game.
And then Cam will take all of our kneecaps because I know what Cam wants out of this.
Exactly. So
No,
anyway,
and one because Great Ace Attorney, like, that second game wraps up everything in like the last like 2 chapters from like the first game and the beginning of the second game, but like also there's a character that I'm waiting for and I'm just sitting there just like,
anyway, yeah.
This
Join us.
character, like-
Join us next time. We'll be jumping into Great Ace Attorney. So thanks for watching.